Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby was not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Oh, hey, how's it going? We're back with Dinking Around, and I got my buddy Jack here.
Here, Jack. What's going on, Jackie boy?
I think he's mad at me. He's mad at me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, guys, this
back.
is
No,
Dinking
he's not-
Around with
he's not
Eddie
too
and
mad.
Webby. And it's not the Eddie and Webby podcast. It's different. And how is it different, Webby?
Oh, man, it is so much different. This is raw. This is uncensored. This is totally unplanned, so you never know what's going to happen. It is like the Eddie and Webby show, but way, way different.
That's right. It's just like it, almost identical, except for it's totally freaking different. Because I use
So
words like
much-
frickin'.
Yeah, so much friggin' different.
That's right. We got a good show for you. As I mentioned, we have a guest that hopefully is going to be joining us here very soon. And I tell you what, Webby, I still love that new intro that we have. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man, I love it so much. I kid you not, I've probably watched it at least 30 times since you created it.
Yeah, it's definitely, that was a fun video to do. So for you guys out there, Webby usually does a lot more of the creative videos in our group. He's definitely, that's more his specialty. He's way better at me at those. So every once in a while I get to do a creative one like that, and I thought it was a blast.
It was very nicely done. And I don't know, I would say I was a lot better at you, but man, have you gotten good at doing video stuff now.
Oh, tell me
You've gotten
more. Tell me
so much
more
better.
nice things about myself.
You've gotten so good that I don't even know what to say about it. That's how good it is.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that. And I also appreciate good conversation about pickleball. There's some topics that we may get to tonight, some that we probably won't. There's some topics that we've tried to get to the last 4 episodes and haven't been able to.
Yeah.
Because what happens is it gets late. I live in Naples. There's a mandatory 9 o'clock bedtime. Right now, the cops are going door to door, making sure that everybody's in bed with their glass of milk, and they can have Matlock on in the background. That's okay. But you got to be in bed. And so if they come by and start knocking and I hightail it out of here, it's because they're shutting me down.
Yep. If they come a rockin', don't start a knockin'. Is that how the saying goes? I don't even know.
I don't know what that means. Good stuff. We had nationals this past week. What did you think of that?
Oh man, I seriously, that it was incredible, and in my opinion, that was by far the best live coverage of any pro tournament so far. What do you think? How do you
Besides
think
the
it
Beer
compares?
City Open, I would agree.
Well, besides the Beer City Open, the Beer City Open of the 2019 Beer City Open was the best live streaming and live coverage of any tournament ever. Totally unbiased opinion. But next to that, I would say the 2019 Nationals was pretty damn good.
Yeah, there were a lot of things I loved about it. Obviously, it was a very professional setup. I liked the different camera angles. I like how they zoomed in on the kitchen, but then they also had a view that was out a little bit further. I liked the instant replay. I think that was good. Although I do have to say, my opinion on the instant replay is that it was a little bit overused. And I felt the same way at TOC as well. Like every single play they did an instant replay on, like a third shot drop went into the net. We don't need to see an instant replay on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like it's definitely overkill. There is definitely such a thing as too much of a good thing. You do not have to do a replay for every play, especially when like there were times that the replay was going on while the next play started. So like you missed some of the live action because of the replay that they felt the need to play. And like you said, like if somebody just hits the ball into the net,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to show that. Or if somebody hits it out of bounds, I mean, in some cases it's good to see if, like, let's say it was a questionable play and you want to take another look at it, but every single point, I don't think that's quite necessary.
I agree, especially because I think that sometimes the replay missed the next point serve. And so it's like, all right, now you're joining that one late. for a replay on a ball that went out of bounds on the third shot. It's like I don't know, that just didn't seem like the right thing to me. But what I would love to be able to do is hear your guys' opinion out there. So if you guys have an opinion on this, please let us know, because selfishly, I really want to know more about this, because as part of streaming the World Pickleball Championships, we are going to have instant replay. And so I want to know what the right balance is. And again, personally for me, don't need to do it every time, but if anybody has a different opinion, please let us know.
Yeah, for sure. So just let us know in the comments. Do you think the replay was overkill, like we thought? Or was it just right and you wish there were more replays? Do you wish they played the replays twice? Let us know.
Replay of the replay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the replay was the replay in slow motion or regular motion? I can't remember now.
So when they started off, it was in regular, and then I don't know if it's because they're like the live streaming PC started to overheat or whatever, but then it started to slow down a little bit. So I'm not really, I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm really not.
Right.
I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not, but it did seem like some of them started to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, and trust us, we know exactly how it goes when stuff overheats during a live stream.
That's right. Wait, literally during the Beer City Open, we had cardboard blocking the sun coming into the tent because my live stream PC was overheating. We had to take it off the table and put it on the ground. Webby had to get a battery powered like camping fan?
Yeah. I had a battery powered camping fan with the fan blowing onto the thing, which I'm sure did absolutely nothing, but it made us feel better anyways.
It worked. It was fun. That ended up being a great experience, so I can't feel too bad about that.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, seriously though, overall the Nationals coverage was excellent. But I do have one complaint, my biggest complaint of all, and once again, anything like there was a very strict no live streaming policy. So anybody that did not play on center court, like nobody saw their matches unless you were there in person.
I don't get it. I honest to God do not understand why that's a rule. Why does anybody think that that's helping the sport of pickleball? Why does anybody think that's helping sponsors? Like it makes, there is not one argument that I have heard that makes any sense as to why you wouldn't allow non-center court to be live streamed. It makes no freaking sense to me.
Right. Like if I could see if the company that was doing all the live streaming like had cameras set up like all throughout the place to where you could be like, okay, if you want to see center court, check out this feed. If you want to see this other court, check out this feed. But that wasn't the case. It was center court or nothing.
Yep.
So why not let people live stream all the other courts?
Yeah. And how about this? How about huddle all the live streamers together beforehand? Maybe say, hey guys, I know we all want to do this. Why don't we divvy up these courts a little bit? Maybe we, start pulling them in order. Hey, by the way, here's a freaking sponsor card. Here are the sponsors for the event. Why not give them a shout out at timeouts, right? All you're doing is you're making it harder for us to be able to get sponsors on board with these tournaments when you shut out every single other court. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and people have the argument like, oh, well, if it's not the pros playing, we don't want that getting shown to the public. That's BS right there, because I would love to see my friends and family that are maybe 3.0, 3.5, 4.0 playing their matches, and sometimes those matches are fun as hell to watch.
I agree. I totally agree. And let's even say, let's go beyond that and say, what about the pros that were playing not on center court, right? There were some amazing matches, I'm sure, that weren't taking place there that nobody's ever going to be able to get to see.
Well, the best rally that I personally witnessed during the Beer City Open was a match that was not on center court, and I was lucky enough to be recording that. And then there were people live streaming that match too. So luckily at the Beer City Open, you could live stream wherever you wanted to, which was awesome. But it was the best rally I have ever seen during a pro match in person, and it was not on center court. And we're gonna play that footage during our next episode because we have a very special guest that was involved in said rally. But it's sometimes the best matches are not on center court.
Yeah. I don't get it. And think about it. The Beer City Open, right? I would say is probably one of the biggest successes of 2019 with just everything. Let's go down the list. The amount of people that they were able to the top level pros that they were able to get out there. Andrea setting up all these amazing pro events with outside of pickleball for them to really enjoy the Grand Rapids area. The live streaming setup, getting all the players out there to be able to bring all the matches to you, encouraging people like us to be able to come and get video and spread the word and share it with the world. It was such a collaborative, fun event, huge success. It's only going to get bigger next year, and it's because of that mentality about collaboration over, I don't even know what you want to call it, just trying to isolate, and it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know if you're paying attention to the amount of viewers that were tuning in. Like nationals, the main events of nationals obviously got huge viewers, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the stuff that we were streaming during Beer City Open got just as much, if not more. I don't know. Did you notice that?
I wasn't really looking at the numbers a whole lot, but I mean, we were over 400 consecutive viewers on Facebook at one point.
Yeah, and most of the times when I was watching the national live feeds, it was around like I'd say like around 260. I mean there was a point where it got over 600 or something like that, but for the most part, most of the stuff that I saw, like even the highest caliber of matches were right around, if not less than what we were drawing in for the Beer City Open. And again, not to toot our own horns, but I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think because it's just what the point I'm trying to make is that just goes to show it doesn't matter if other people are streaming the other matches, because there were people streaming a whole bunch of other courts at the Beer City Open while we were doing that. It did not affect the amount of people. If people want to see the top pros playing, they're going to tune in. And just like Joanna Coyne said right here, amen, my local players only cared about local players. There's a lot of people out there that don't know who Tyson McGuffin and Kyle Yates are. They just know pickleball from their local communities, and they want to see that their local people play.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it should be collaboration over, trying to shut people out. But if there's anybody out there, honestly, guys, if there really is anybody out there who has counter arguments to what Webby and I are presenting, we would love to hear it. I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
We will respect your opinion. We can have a calm, rational discussion about it. If you're out there, please let us know. Throw it in the comments. We'll even invite you on, because I really would. I truly believe that there's got to be a reason why these rules are in place, and I'm just missing it. That's because other than that, I can't think of why else anybody would think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and I would love for somebody to change their minds about it, because I mean maybe there's a reason out there that exists, but we definitely don't know what that reason is, that people are blocking others from streaming any matches outside of center court.
Yeah, I mean, I think I brought it up once before. I would love to be able to put together a group of like pickleball media contributors. I don't even know what the right content creators, right? Where we all kind of come together and we realize that pickleball still represents this tiny little sliver of the sports market, and like this slightly larger sliver of paddle sports market. And right now, fighting with each other for like a little tiny piece of this sliver is so stupid, when we could be helping grow the sport and allowing it to become what we all know it's going to be, and all of us get a bigger piece of the pie when it gets to that point. And any of these little deals and land grabs and things where we're trying to shut other people out are only going to hurt the sport, making it tougher on ourselves in the long run. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, something like that.
It's crazy, but
yeah, it is crazy. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if anybody wants to change their mind, feel free to try doing so. Eddie, I do have a question for you, though.
Yes, what's that?
Do you happen to have any videos lined up to show our viewers?
I don't, but we do actually have a guest that's ready to come on.
Oh, nice. I think you should introduce that guest
want me to introduce
all
this
by
guest?
yourself.
All right,
and then I'll
all right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to me. All right, you're free to go do whatever you got to do, Webby. So we have a guest, and I'm super excited to be able to bring her on. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself here because she's part of something that's pretty cool and exciting. And we're bringing her on hot without any introduction. But Sophie, are you there?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on?
Awesome. Not much. How are you?
Oh, good. We're, having our nice live podcast and dinking around right now. So glad you could join us.
Nice. Yes, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to
Yeah.
the millions of viewers out there right now?
Oh, yeah. Hello to all of you. Very excited to be here. So, my name is Sophie. I am starting a pickleball paddle company. More specifically, we're making high-performance, sustainable paddles out of a natural fiber. So, we're called Revel and Sports, and yeah, it's been really awesome. I just came back from Margaritaville, which was amazing. So, yeah, got our paddle out there a little bit, and I'm just really excited to be here and finally talk about what we've been doing.
That's awesome. So how was the Nationals, Margaritaville Nationals? Was that a good time?
Oh my goodness. I, in all honesty, had no idea what to expect, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Everybody was so kind, and it was a blast, and seeing everybody up close and like watching them play was really amazing, So
That's cool.
should have been there.
I know. We wanted to make it out, but it's like we can only pick a few events to be able to go to a year right now. But
Yeah.
definitely seemed like a good time. Got to watch a lot of the live stream, which was pretty awesome. So, did you see any matches in particular that you thought were pretty good?
Oh my goodness. Watching Simone play in general was just, especially against Lucy, and it was crazy. That was a great match. And then I actually was lucky enough to sit courtside for, thank you, Scott Golden, by the way, for Yates and, shoot, sorry, I'm like a little nervous, so I'm like kind of blanking. But against, like, who was it? It was Yates and Ben Johns against Lika and, shoot, I'm forgetting the last guy's name. I'm so sorry. They're both very awesome.
Andre Deskew?
Yeah. And that was really cool. I don't think that was super expected, so it was really fun to be able to see that and, yeah, be that close on center court. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, Webby's
what about
back.
You? What did you like? Oh, hello, Webby.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Good. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I mean, all the matches were amazing. Like, obviously, I love watching Simone. It's no joke that I'm a huge fan of hers. So that was really cool to watch. And then Ben Johns, I mean, that guy he's just dominating the sport right now. It's incredible what he can do out there. And anytime I can watch him play, I'm in awe of what that guy can do.
I know, like literally I felt so close. I was like, oh my gosh, is this real? I don't know. It was like and then you meet them in person and they're just very nice, normal people. Mm-hmm. But then you see them on a court and it's like this like machine and you're like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this is a little unreal, But
that's exactly how I felt at the Beer City Open, because that was my first ever taste of seeing a bunch of the pros play. And man, Ben Johns, like it looks so effortless with him. And you see all the other players like get super emotional and like scream and yell and get mad at themselves when they're on the court. And then and Ben, he's just stands there, just hardly any emotion. Every once in a while, he gets super excited, but yeah, it's crazy. It's just like he's got a mission. And then when people call timeout, like people will go sit down, get water, wipe their brow. A lot of times, Ben just like stays right there. He stays at the court. He's like, I'm ready to play right now. Whenever you're ready, come back and we'll play.
Just smiling, just having, just loving life. I'm like, wow, good for you. I feel like there's just a confidence there. It's really, it's cool. It's well earned. So, yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
We got a message here from Christy Howden from Wolverine Pickleball. She said, hey, Sophie, I'm meeting Hugh and trying out the paddle Wednesday in Ann Arbor.
Woo woo. Thanks, Christy. We're excited. I keep telling you to play more pickleball in Ann Arbor, so he's finally getting out there a little more. I know he's excited to play with the Wolverines, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I can't wait for that facility. So hopefully I'll see you guys out there once it's up and open.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like pickleball's coming to Michigan in a huge way,
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
another
and
thing that
then,
happened recently in downtown Detroit, there was this awesome event over the summer. I was lucky enough to be a part of it, and it was a thing mainly to try to get people to learn how to play pickleball. And the thing was completely busy and packed from the time it started till the time it ended. And a majority of it was people that had never played pickleball. They were just walking around downtown
that's
Detroit. They saw what
awesome.
we were doing. They were like, "What is this? I want to try this." And everybody loved it. It was awesome.
Dude, that's what I love about pickleball. It's so approachable still as a sport, but it's growing so fast. You can totally see why. So sorry if this, can I go on a like little tangent?
Go for it.
Yeah,
Okay, so I like
definitely.
never really, okay, so I like never played sports that much. And so getting into pickleball was kind of, it's been really exciting for me just because I danced my whole life. And so had some of the athleticism, but never, like I always got hit in the face when I played basketball and stuff. So like seeing pickleball and being able to like, sorry, I know that's stupid, but like being able to actually play and like keep up and have fun with so many different ages and types of people it's been really fun. Like that's kind of where my love of it comes from. So I can like totally relate to those people just seeing it on the street and being like, oh, what is that? Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So
and it kind of reminds me of myself. Like and a lot of people that I know are like this too that play pickleball. I never played sports growing up. I was never did sports in school at all. Never did competitive stuff like that. I was always very shy and reserved, kept to myself. And pickleball just brings out this like super competitive side of me. I'm obsessed with
Yeah.
doing tournaments. The first few, I'll admit, like I felt like I didn't know, like I felt like I had, like I shouldn't be at the tournaments because I was like, oh man, I suck at pickleball. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And like the first couple
Aw.
times I would almost get sick because I was so nervous before these tournaments. But now, like luckily that part, I'm beyond that part, so I'm more excited than nervous. But it's just I don't know, like I never would have thought at this point in my life that I would start becoming so competitive and love to sign up for these big tournaments that I've been doing lately. But I seriously, I cannot get enough of it.
Right. That's awesome. I've not quite gotten there in my confidence as a player yet, but yeah, that's so fun. Good for you. I'm glad that you're getting out there and playing in tournaments. I hope to see you play.
And just to be clear, I don't have much confidence in my skill and playing
Okay.
ability. I just have so much fun doing it that I love it, and I am finally seeing improvement in my skill. But I still would not
That's
say that I'm
exciting.
a good player yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, getting out there is half the battle sometimes. So
you just
good
got
for
to
you.
show up sometimes and just put yourself in those
Right.
situations to where it's super uncomfortable. Like the first
Yep.
time that Webby and I played a tournament, it was Beer City Open 2018. And, I thought, I've played a dozen or so rec games. This
Right.
this should be
Right.
no problem. And we got
Oh,
our
it
asses
doesn't.
kicked,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
destroyed in that game, in that tournament. And so it's the best thing that ever happened to me, though.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Hugh, my business partner, went to a tournament, and won it. Like it was like a neighborhoody type one in Michigan and never played before, just played tennis in high school. So he actually like won the tournament with his friend. And so he was all confident, entered the next one without really playing in between and like got his yeah. He got his butt kicked too by somebody who was like in their 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and had just been playing for years. So we
That,
learned the
that
hard way that it does take practice.
that is a very humbling experience. Last summer, so I got beat by a guy who was 83 years old, and I was like, oh shit, I really need to step up my game here a little bit.
Right? Like, there is some strategy there. It's not just trying to hit it.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
very cool.
Yeah. So Sophie, I'm very fortunate enough that,
Yeah.
you and I and Hugh, we've had a chance to be able to talk before about all the great things you guys are trying to get up here with Revel and Sports. But You talked a little bit about it
Yeah.
here, but you share with the world, right? Like what is it about Revelin
Oh,
that it's
it's
you're so
crazy.
excited about?
Okay, so Revel and Sports, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm like, there's so many things. I'm just a little overwhelmed. Basically, we're really excited to start to reform how sporting equipment is made. Like right now, everything's made out of carbon fiber and fiberglass, which is awesome because they produce really lightweight, durable paddles, which everybody loves. You know, the technology's evolved so much, which is exciting because of the competitive side of things. But what you don't see so much is how wasteful these are to produce. We actually learned this the hard way ourselves when we started getting into pickleball, like breaking paddles, then tearing them apart and like trying to make better ones. So, like, we were trying to make the iPhone of pickleball paddles, and turned out it was just like this tiny little carbon fiber thing that played like shit. I don't know if I can say that.
Go for it.
It played very
Yep.
badly. Okay. So we then yeah, so we then found, like, in making that, we saw how much waste was really produced from that. And then also learning that there's no way to actually take care of these materials after they're, like, after the paddle breaks. So they go into landfills, and, you know, that's not the best plan, especially when we actually ended up finding this new material that functions pretty similarly to all these things. And I mean, it's been working out pretty well in a pickleball paddle, and it's plant-based, so it's far more sustainable. And I mean, we say, and I think it's been proving that it can play like pretty similarly to other paddles. So we're hoping to make or like teach people that you can have a sustainable paddle that's also high performance. Yeah, that's the spiel.
Nice.
No, I like it. And I
That's
especially think
yeah.
that let's call it what it is. Pickleball right now is still mainly geared towards people who are a little bit older in age, right? And I think that they're starting to come around with the concept of renewability and really taking care of the environment.
Right.
But that's a very important thing for the younger generation. Let's say 30 and under, right? That's a very important
Mhm.
thing for the vast majority of people who are in that age group. And I see that as the future of pickleball. And so I think it's great that there's going to be a product that not only can play just as well as, you know, as the competitive paddles or whatnot, but
Right,
can
right.
also
Which are
be
great, by the way. Like, not to say anything negative about
sure.
anybody else, because everybody's great, but sorry.
No, that's totally good.
Yeah.
But you know, to play that well, but at the same point also help be a little bit more. I don't know what the right term is. Environmentally
Planet
responsible.
conscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to
Yeah.
think about. And another thing that I don't know if anybody else has really thought of how to handle this, but like I always think about the pickleballs themselves. I mean, especially with the Durafast 40s, how much they break. I mean, like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
is there a way to, is there a way to, yeah, is there a way that they can be
Shoot.
like melted
I wish
down
I'd
and then
only
turned
heard of
into
this
recyclable
before.
balls?
Yeah. No. I mean, you see like trash bins full of these yellow balls, right, at court sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
right now, I talked to the person who made those, and he was talking about like compounds and all of this, and how it's super complicated to make a ball. But I'm not the engineer, but our team of engineers is brilliant, and they're already excited about working on the ball. So, I mean, that's the hope, right? And yeah, so hopefully we can definitely start working together to make that happen, because I think that would be ideal. I know that's a big
Oh, yeah, for
problem.
sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And then nationals just happened. I was tuning in live, and Mark Rennison, he gave a statistic like right at the beginning of nationals. He was talking about the estimated amount of pickleballs that were going to be used during the tournament, and like, this would have been a lot better if I would have actually known the amount that he said. But I want to say that like the estimated amount was like 100,000 balls were going to
Like,
be used during the
Oh,
tournament. I don't
oh
know.
my gosh. Okay, I didn't hear
It
that
was some
many. Shoot.
it was some outrageous number. I could be wrong. I might have said way too high of a number, but whatever number they said,
No, that
it
makes
seemed
sense. I'm doing the
outrageous. But
math.
it was the organizers that said that. But basically, I think they were estimating like 2 balls per match that happened. But there were, I
Okay.
mean, there were tons of
And with
matches that happened
2,000
throughout
players,
the whole series.
and like matches going on like through 30 courts, 30, 40 plus courts. Yeah. I mean, I know at the end of the night, I like would always stay late and play rec games and got some people to try out some prototypes, which is exciting. And I feel like people would start to like go home when all their balls broke. Like it was like, oh no, we can't find a ball anymore. Just you really go through them.
Yeah.
So.
Do you feel like the material, this plant-based material that you're talking about, might be a good candidate for the ball, or am I getting too much into proprietary information here?
No, you're fine. So I'm actually not quite sure how this material in particular would translate. I know that with a ball, so this is to get into the weeds a little bit, but there's like strength, and I don't have the language specifically, but I know that there's tensile strength, which means something that can like hold itself on its own without, it's not like force against it. It's just pure strength structurally. And there's other kinds of strength too and durability that, might apply to a pickleball paddle that has a core versus a ball that, might need to be like stronger on its own. So there's some issues there, I think, but it doesn't mean that we're not looking at things that are renewable.
Well, I think if you compare the balls, right? Let's just compare the Durafast 40 with the Onyx Pure 2. The Durafast is the most it's the most challenging ball to play with, and that's why a lot of the pros like it. It's the most poppy, it's the most responsive, it's the easiest one to spin. It flies a lot longer. But obviously the durability is kind of the biggest concern when it comes to that ball, especially in colder weather.
Yeah.
Then you have like the Onyx Pure 2.
Ball,
Right. Yeah. And then you have like the Onyx Pure 2, which I feel like you can play on the same Onyx Pure 2 for like a year, and it plays the exact same way it did the day you pulled it out of the package. But again, the ball is a little bit more forgiving. You can lob the crap out of that ball and it's going to land like 5 feet indoors or inbounds. You can just keep banging the ball over and over and over again. And because of the way it's created, it's going to land in. So obviously what goes into the creation of the ball outside of just the sheer weight of it definitely plays a role in what your outcome is going to be, what the game is going to be like.
Yeah. I mean, you see people start a point and then afterwards they're like, crap, the ball was like funky, and sometimes if you're like, that can matter a lot and we're focused on other stuff, like that's a real concern, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We got a comment here from
somewhere where we see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We got a comment here from Daniel J. Howard. He said, very few Duros broke at Nationals this year. Thank goodness. Nice. It seems they fixed it. So that's good to hear. And like I was saying, I said 100,000 before. That was, I could be way overstating what I heard. I could be remembering incorrectly. And that was at the beginning of Nationals, just an estimate that somebody threw out there. So the number that I said, that really means nothing. So don't take that too seriously.
I actually I also heard the balls where it's 1 per every 2 games. Like that's what they're supposed to last for. So just throwing that out there. I don't know if that was, so maybe that would like reduce the math a little, but.
Yeah. And I do remember whoever was doing commentary with Mark at the time was saying that they thought the number was a huge exaggeration, and that they also said that it seemed like the balls that they played with during the tournament had no issues with breaking. So it sounds like they might not have been too bad.
I mean, it happened though. You have the strongest players kind of in the game there. They're hitting as hard as they can. Like the stuff's gonna break, and I feel like that's just kind of normal. But I did hear that it was way better than in past years. So I think they definitely tweaked that a little bit.
I like it.
So.
Yeah, that's good for sure. Definitely. Man, I am so jealous that you're there. I've every time I watch that, I'm like, man, I have got to go to Nationals one of these years. It looks incredible.
So much fun.
Start with the U.S. Open, Webby. Come down for that, and then we'll go to Nationals next year.
Sounds good. Yeah, I am definitely hoping to make it to the U.S. Open this year. Even if we don't get drawn to play, I would still like to at least go and attend for a few days. So yeah, hopefully Eddie and Webby will be at U.S. Nationals.
I'll be there too. So.
You guys are gonna be there?
Yay.
All right.
Nice.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you are, I guess we've got it. So.
That's great.
Right?
Well, see, I'm very lucky.
Yet,
It's
so, and I got to meet so many other people. So like, I feel
yeah.
like I'm missing out still.
Yeah, you got to come down for the US Open. It's literally 5 miles down the road from my house, so it makes it real nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
That'll be cool. Yeah, you guys definitely got to come down for that. Show off all the great stuff that you're
I know
doing.
we're actually hoping to launch early 2020. So, I mean, by April we should be selling paddles, which is, it gets really exciting. Like having people even try it for the first time. Like we've been developing this for so long. We've kind of just had to keep like the technology under wraps and stuff before we were ready. And it's exciting because we finally have something we're excited about and we're proud of. We're almost like 50 prototypes in. So just over years, like working in a garage, trying to make the best thing happen. And like, so hearing back from people that they liked it and stuff was super exciting because these people, like the pros, they could hit with it for 3 minutes and give me like a great breakdown of stuff. Whereas players, more my skill level and everything, like they might try it and not be as used to it. And so then just not like it, and so like having people see and like validate that it really is actually competitive and plays similarly was really exciting. And I think people in California know a little bit more about sustainability too. So
yeah, it's a little bit more important to them. It's kind of ingrained in their culture out there.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's cool. What throughout the prototype process, like what was some of the feedback that you were given, and like how did you make adjustments? Was it like, okay, I play with this paddle and maybe it was too soft, we need to harden it? Like what? I'm fascinated by this. Like, how was that whole process like?
So, like I said, we started with carbon fiber, and we didn't have the softness we wanted there. It was too rigid. We thought making something slimmer was going to be faster and better, and well, obviously that's not necessarily the case. So that was a while ago. So we've learned. So it really kind of comes down to, for us, it was weight, in all honesty, figuring out how to make a lighter paddle. It's really easy when you put all this great stuff on your paddle to make it play well, but then, when so many people like 7 ounces and stuff, getting that exact right layer, with the right cord to be able to have people still use it like repetitively, that took some time. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
When you started off, was it mostly people that were local to West Michigan that were kind of your guinea pigs testing it out?
Right. Yeah, exactly. A lot of friends and family. So we actually kind of got everyone we know into pickleball. Just like, hey, let's go play. We're in Michigan, so our summers are beautiful. Not all year, unfortunately. It's snowing right now, which is a big transition from nationals. But anyways,
yeah.
Don't even get me started. Like, I just scraped my car this morning, and yeah. But sorry. So people trying it in this area, so we started trying it on like friends and family, and they liked it. For most people, it was a little heavy, like I said. So we really took that feedback and went back to the drawing board and refined the process. We actually are using a core that isn't, right off the shelf anymore, which has been exciting. And yeah, just really refined the process. And we hadn't really gotten it in players of such a high level before. Probably some 5-0s, but they hadn't been playing as long as some of the pros. So their expertise was just really invaluable. And yeah.
That's cool. How exciting. Like Webby, like what would be funner than, outside of doing videos and live streaming for pickleball, to like actually create a paddle? That's pretty freaking cool.
Oh man. Yeah, that would be epic. Especially like going down to nationals and getting that exposure, and then you said you got a lot of people have been testing out the prototypes and giving you feedback and stuff. I mean, just that alone has got to be a great feeling.
Oh my gosh, to hear like I was just kind of watching, while people were playing rec games, and somebody walked past and was like, what paddle is that? Like that happened a few times. That was really exciting to hear. Like, people are kind of like interested and ready to check it out. So I had quite a few people try and buy, and I was like, I'm sorry, you can't yet. You can put your email into our website though, and we'll let you know as soon as we're selling. But yeah, it was really cool.
All right, now that is pretty badass. You
Yeah.
you already have people that want to buy your product, and you're like, we're not ready yet. Like, join our list. Like, how freaking cool is that?
Right?
Thanks. I mean, we don't want to take money until we like 100% know our timeline. Like, I don't want to overpromise anything. Like, I want to let our product speak for itself. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a good approach.
Thank you. It's been really exciting. Thank you.
Yeah.
We had some great advice on the way. Couldn't have done it without, honestly, like people I met through the pickleball forum. I really appreciate like the community, and everybody's been so helpful. And yeah, I just feel really lucky to like be starting a company in this space. So yeah.
That's cool. So what's next for Sophie? Like, what about you? What's your hopes and dreams all about here? Pickleball or just in life?
Gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not a big question. I'm 22, so I've got it all figured out, obviously. But so right now it's pickleball, and we want to prove that sustainability and high performance can go hand in hand. Right now it's like you have a wood paddle, like a natural paddle, or you have like a good paddle. So I don't know, like we want to prove that you can have both, and hopefully that can trickle into other equipment too, because carbon fiber and fiberglass are kind of an issue all over the place. And I think we can do better. So yeah, I'm just going to keep trying to prove that to people.
I like it.
Yeah, thanks. And I guess I'll see you guys at US Open too. So
yeah,
it's a deal.
Come on down. That'll be cool. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time down here for sure.
For sure.
Cool. Thank you so
So
much.
you might have already.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you might have already mentioned this earlier when Eddie was talking to you when you first came on. But where are you guys based out of in Michigan? Do you have like a headquarters or anything?
Yeah. So we moved into a manufacturing place, which has been really exciting. And I mean, it's in our hometown. It's like with one of our partners, so it's not that fancy. But so we're in Holland, Michigan, and we produce everything in the United States. It's all done by our team. And so, yeah, we're continuing the legacy of pickleball paddle companies in Michigan, which are big steps to walk in, but exciting.
Very cool. Yeah, my wife and I love going to Holland, and we were there earlier in the year, and I played with a real nice group of people out there. So, yeah, I'll have to maybe next time I come out to Holland, I'll let you know. We have to try to get some pickleball in for sure.
For sure. Or Grand Rapids. I'm out there quite a bit too. So there's some more courts out there, But for sure.
Love Grand Rapids. Love going to Grand Rapids.
I know. I mean, you got beer, you got pickleball. Doesn't get much better, right?
What else do you need? You don't need anything else. That's it.
Yeah. So
good
cool.
stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Eddie, like Florida.
Yeah.
For the longest time, Florida has been like the pickleball capital, but I feel like Michigan is really, really coming on strong. I mean, we're coming for you, the rest of the country.
Ooh, yeah. With our indoor basketball court taped lines in churches, like we're out here practicing in churches. You've got the palm trees. Like this is you gotta want it here.
Exactly. That shows how hardcore we are here in Michigan. Like we love pickleball so much. We'll play anywhere.
You guys are crazy.
Right.
I'll take my outdoor courts that I can play on 360 days of the year.
You gotta have some adventure. You gotta push yourself, but I guess that's all right.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, seriously, thank you very much for joining us. This has been awesome.
Gosh. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me tell the world about us a little bit more.
Why don't we do this? Whenever you guys are pretty close to launching or have a date in mind, reach out again. We'd love to have you back on, talk even more about it. Maybe you can even, show some of the, a prototype or whatnot. I think it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool.
Awesome.
Yes, I'd love to get more into the specs. We are tweaking a few things, and then I'll be able to get more details. But
Cool. Well, don't be
expect
a
us coming
stranger.
soon. Of course, not at all. Thank
All right.
you.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Well, there we go. Another great guest for Dinking Around. As I said, that one was kind of planned. But you know, I love what Sophie and Hugh are doing. I think it's really cool. I personally am a fan of renewable resources, getting away from things that end up in landfills.
Yep.
I wouldn't consider
sure.
myself like a super environmentalist. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've taken an oath to protect the environment. But I think anything we can do there is good. I think it's good stuff.
Oh, for sure. And I think most people can appreciate and know how important it is to try to reduce our carbon footprint, as people like to say. And I think it's a great thing that they're doing for sure.
I agree. Good stuff. Yeah, it's cool. Hopefully you get a chance to meet her. And then when you come down for US Open, she'll be down there as well.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be a great time. I got to make that happen.
Let's do it.
I need to make that happen.
We definitely got to make that happen. Cool. Well, good guess. Well, what else did you want to talk about tonight, Webby? It is Dinking Around.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I wanted to talk about was nationals. I feel like we covered that pretty good earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Covered a lot of good stuff there. We didn't really talk a whole lot about like the matches from nationals, but I don't know. I feel like if you wanna watch the nationals matches, check out all the live streams that happened, all the main events. Like we said, you won't see any of the matches that weren't on the center court, but we already ranted enough about that.
That's right. We do have some pickleball forum comments that we were talking about some of them before. We didn't get to all of them. You want to go and do some of those?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
All right. So let's see here. Which one is this? This is from Jonathan LaFleur. Jonathan said, fill in the blank. I would skip pickleball to blank.
So I've got an answer that I feel like a lot of our viewers probably would not say. Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
So I would say to edit videos, because I've done that before. I've had a video that I really wanted to edit, and I was like, I could either go play pickleball or edit this video, and I chose to edit the video. But that doesn't happen often. That's actually a very rare occurrence, but it has happened.
Okay. I like it. But it's still something pickleball related. It's like I would skip
yeah,
pickleball
it's always
to do
to edit pickleball videos. Like every video I've ever skipped pickleball to edit was pickleball related. So if you want me to answer a non-pickleball related answer, I would say to go play disc golf, I think.
Okay. I like it.
What about you? What would you skip pickleball to do?
I mean, I feel like the only time I ever skip pickleball is either to work, right, at my full-time job, or to do something pickleball related, like edit a video, film a video,
right.
live stream something. There's tournaments that I've wanted to play at, but instead have decided that I'm going to live stream for. So I would think I would skip pickleball to, do other things that help promote the sport of pickleball, like live streaming a tournament versus playing in it.
Yeah, I can count on two fingers how many times that I skipped pickleball to play disc golf, because it happened twice. And one of them was I had a tournament. I was in a disc golf tournament, so I didn't play pickleball that day because of the disc golf tournament. And then the other time, I wanted to do a video about disc golf, so I spent my day disc golfing.
Gotcha.
But one kind of funny thing is my very first video that I ever did for the Eddie and Webby YouTube channel. I intended on going to play pickleball, but when I got to the place that I knew of near my house that has outdoor pickleball courts, it was in the month of November. It was a very nice day in November, but they had already taken down all of the outdoor pickleball nets and the place was locked up. And that place just so happened to
Yeah,
have a disc golf course, so I went and played disc golf instead.
it's crazy. Great. I mean, yeah, but with the weather, right? It's like you really don't want to open it up until you know you're going to have a consistent amount of people there. And in Michigan, that happens in like what, May?
Something like that, yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. Man, this year was the first year that I played a lot of outdoor pickleball, and like I've become friends with a lot of people in the Southeast Michigan pickleball community. So I pretty much I'm finally at the point where I can pretty much play pickleball anytime that I want. I can reach out to a big number of friends that I have and usually get at least 6 people that will join me. So finally, I'm in good shape as far as that goes. So I played a lot of outdoor pickleball, and so now I do understand why people hate playing indoors on a gym court surface now. Like after playing so much outdoors and getting used to that, it's like, man, indoors sucks on a gym court surface.
Yep. I'm glad I rarely have to do that, but it's always fun to mix it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still do it. I would gladly play on a gym court surface than not play at all, and it just takes some getting used to. But definitely the lighting and the reflective floor
Mm-hmm.
plays such a like has it has such a like it plays such a big role in how fun it is, because some places just have that like super reflective hardwood floor, and it's such a bad glare. It's hard to see the ball sometimes, and then sometimes the gym court surface might have a few like uneven spots to where the ball bounces weird and stuff like that. And then sometimes the lighting just isn't good. Like it's either too dark or it's too bright to where like you look up and you get blinded by the bright lights up above if you're trying to hit a
Yep.
lob or something like that. So yeah, it definitely takes a lot of getting used to playing indoors on a gym court surface. But
Yeah.
there are some really good indoor gym court surfaces here in Michigan. We were talking to Sophie earlier. She said she's from Holland. When I played in Holland last year, there was this awesome indoor facility. The floor, the gym court floor was very nice texture. It was not very reflective at all. The lighting was perfect. Like it was the best indoor gym court surface I've ever played on. It was very nice.
Interesting. Good topic. I got one here that I think is kind of funny, but probably something that we can relate to, and I want to hear your perspective on this. It's another one
All
from
right.
Jonathan LaFleur. He said, "When you ask someone to be your partner for a tournament, does it remind you of trying to get a date, asking for a friend?"
Yes. Yes. I do feel like that. Like, because it's like you're afraid of that rejection. Like, are they gonna say no? Are they gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry, somebody else already asked me to be their partner," or yeah, totally. I totally can equate that to asking somebody out on a date. And then the same kind of thing, like if you let's say you've been playing regularly with a partner and you're just like, man, this isn't working out. I need a new partner. Then it's almost like you got to break up with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like pickleball teammate relationships are a lot like dating relationships.
Yeah, I would imagine even on the pro level, especially on the pro level, you get that a lot, right? I mean, I think in the last year we've seen some partnerships that were pretty consistent before kind of going in different directions. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, in fact, our next episode of the podcast, we're gonna have an awesome guest, and I would love to discuss that whole thing with our next guest if they want to talk about it. Because yeah, I've always been very intrigued, because you see like the pro players, they'll play with somebody for a long time together, then all of a sudden they don't play together, and it's like, was it a mutual separation? Did somebody kind of have to cut ties with the other? Like, how does that all work?
Why don't we play it out here, okay? Let's pretend that I'm the one who's trying to initiate a player breakup with you. Should we role play this?
All right, let's do it. So you and I, we've played a couple tournaments together. We've gone 0-2 out a couple times. We're just role playing here. We're just making this stuff up here.
Yeah.
But
So here's the thing: is that I feel like it's not you, it's me. Sometimes when we're out there, I just feel like you're not getting the best version of me, and you really need to be with someone that's gonna give you the best version of themselves.
that'd be horrible if somebody actually said that.
Really? I thought it was pretty smooth. I thought that was good. No?
No, I don't know. Something about it just didn't seem right.
How would you do it? Let's say you were on the other side.
So I would try to be as polite as possible. I would just be like, man, like, you play like shit whenever we play together, and I really want to play with somebody that can play better. So I'm gonna go with somebody else. All right.
I like it. Yep, that's a good one. I think that's a good way to go about it. Maybe somebody that plays like when you do a shitty shot, I want somebody that's gonna play a good shot instead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking to play with.
No, but I totally feel that way though. Like it is. I feel like when you ask somebody new to play, it's like asking them out on a date. And when you want to cut ties with somebody, I feel like you're breaking up with them.
Yeah. Well, I guess actually now that I think about it, there's really only been one person that I've asked to play with me in a tournament that wasn't like you, right? Not like a really close friend or a stranger that I was reaching out to through players needing partners through pickleballtournaments.com. And that was my neighbor, Vicky. I asked her, and I felt like it was, I don't know. It was like, hey, do you want to go play a tournament? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, cool. Okay. That was it. I don't know. It did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then I kind of think like, do people, so out of the last 7 tournaments, I've had 4 different partners. Does that like, do people look at me like, oh man, this guy gets around, like he has commitment problems? Like, does it like look bad for me to be like having a different partner almost every tournament that I do?
Well, I think it's also that like everybody you're signed up to play with ends up moving away, right?
Yeah, yeah. That is part of it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit situational. I don't know. I mix it up. Like,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like what you call a floater. Like a lot of people have like a certain spot that they play pickleball and they play there regularly. For me, I'm all over the place. I'll be in Ann Arbor one week. I'll be in Flat Rock the next week. I'll be in Romulus the week after. Like I'm just wherever I just happen to be at that time. If there's open pickleball, I'm there. And as far as tournaments go, like if the person that I played with last time isn't available, then I'll just try to find somebody else and I'll just keep going, and I don't blink an eye. It's just sometimes my schedule just doesn't jive with other people consistently.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like let's say you were playing with somebody a few times and you guys weren't having success. And I don't mean success necessarily like wins or losses or medals. I'm talking about successes in your ability to play well together, have a good time, make it an enjoyable experience. If you've done it 3 or 4 times and it doesn't work, are you going to be upset if that person moved on from playing with you and went with somebody else?
I mean, I don't think I would be. I mean, I haven't really been in that situation yet. But like, I totally understand if somebody doesn't feel chemistry and they want to try somebody else, then go for it. Because that's such a huge thing with pickleball. Like, you either have chemistry with somebody or you don't, and you got to have that for sure.
That's a good point. Yeah, my men's partner down here, Mark, he talked about that, where chemistry is super important to have with a partner, and I think he realized that during his last tournament. And so that's one of the reasons that him and I, every Wednesday before league play, we drill for about 45 minutes. Friday night, he came down all the way to East Naples from Punta Gorda, which is like an hour drive, to get in a couple private matches with some higher level people. So that way we can make sure we are on the same page. And I got to tell you, one thing that, and if Mark, if you're out there listening, man, I got a lot of respect for Mark because I asked him, now that we've played together a couple times, last week we were on the same court for league. I asked him, I said, is there any feedback for me? Anything that you think that I can work on to help set us up for success? And he actually did give me a couple things. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I had a lot of respect for that. I honestly wasn't expecting that. Mark is like a really nice, I don't want to say shy, but like, he kind of keeps himself a little bit kind of guy. And so when I heard that, I was like, man, that carries even more weight that you'd be willing to give me that feedback. So it went a long way. And that's exactly what I want in a partner. Somebody that's going to be like, hey man, here's what I think you should do. And on the same point, there were a couple situations that night where I had made some recommendations about, court position and things when certain shots are going on that he was really open and receptive to as well. And so I think you kind of have to come with, in the partnership, you have to come with that frame of mind where if I'm giving you feedback about something that you need to work on, I'm not saying anything bad against you. I'm just saying like, hey, here's something that I should notice from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's great stuff. I like this comment from Pat Norton. He says, "Watch out, Webby. Sounds like Eddie has been rehearsing." That's in regards to what you would say if you were to tell me that you wanted to find a different partner.
Well, we already decided the next tournament we're gonna be on different teams.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So did we decide like that's gonna determine like who gets the belt in the Kyle Yates paddle when we do that? Like, will that be the Eddie versus Webby challenge for that particular time? Or is that just going to be like its own separate thing just to see how we do? Because I know somebody recommended that like that's what we do for one of our Eddie versus Webby challenges is to do a tournament where we each have different partners and whoever does better in the tournament is the victor.
Man, I think there's so many variables in a tournament that I feel like the only way that we could ultimately use that as the Eddie versus Webby champion is if we played against each other during that tournament.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's actually here. How about this? I think that the only way that we should make that a stipulation is if one of us medal. If neither one of us medal, then I don't think that it should count. But if like one of us got a medal and the other didn't, or like we got silver and you got bronze or something like that, then I think it should count.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, we'll have to think about that because I do like both points that you made are great. Like if we don't play each other, it's like not totally fair because like it could be the luck of the draw. Like you could have gotten like some very like low level people in the bracket. Right. I could have gotten some high level people compared to who we played against. So yeah, that's a tough call as far as going that route. But yeah, I do like what you said where like if one of us medals and the other one doesn't, or one of us gets a higher medal compared to the other person, I could be down with that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a better approach to do it that way. Or maybe we just have like a side bet or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it could just be for bragging rights for that one. Because I mean one of us could potentially have a medal and the other one not. So I don't know. It could go as like so many different possibilities for that.
Yeah, I really do feel like it to really get a good gauge for how well you did, especially 3-5-4-0 level, whichever one, I'm hoping it's 4-0. You really do have to get down to the final four teams to me to like level that playing field of skill set.
Yeah,
where
I
can
agree.
Start off and have somebody really high and low. It's too hard to gauge unless it, the thing, if it's a round robin, then I would say that a round robin would be a legitimate way. So let's say there's 10 teams and one of us got 6th and one of us got 7th. I'd be willing to put that on the line.
Yeah, because we're both of our teams are going to play all the same teams. So yeah, I would I'd say that's how we should do it. If it's a round robin, it'll determine who gets the belt and the paddle. Otherwise, we leave it for when we do a match against each other in some way.
Yeah. Or round robin, or if we finish in the top 4. How about that?
Okay.
Because like let's say we're in the bronze medal match and we face each other in that. I would think that Well, I guess one person would medal, so I guess that would make sense. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I like it. I think we got to figure it out for whenever that happens. Man, I'm
Cool.
I'm super excited for 2020. We have so many great challenges ahead of us.
I agree. I agree. Um, should we do one more of these Pickleball Forum
Yeah,
Facebook ones?
yeah. Let's do one more to close out the show.
All right, let's see. Let me find a good one. Okay. So this is a good one because I'm just going to go ahead and put it up there. It's interesting. This is from Polly Glowatz. Polly asks, how do you teach rushing the net to someone who holds back on the baseline?
Interesting.
You want me to
How
go
do
first,
you
or you
do
want to do
that?
that?
Yeah, you go first.
All right. So I don't think rushing the net is something you should teach. I think that so here's the thing. When I got my first couple lessons, I was taught third shot drop, rush the net. Third shot drop, rush the net. And I actually think that's some of the shittiest advice you can give to somebody in pickleball. I think that when you do that, you are just setting yourself up for a horrible, horrible fourth shot right at your body, or a drive back at you, or you put it up high and they're going to put it at your feet when you're moving forward. So I don't necessarily think that rushing the net is the right approach. However, if what Polly is asking is, how do you teach somebody to transition to the net rather than hang out at the baseline, then I think that's an important lesson to be able to teach. And I would recommend one of Simone's videos to be able to do that, where she talks about advanced third shot strategies and basically shows you a green light, yellow light, red light. Yeah, can we put a link to it up there somewhere maybe?
Yeah, I think it'd be like right around here.
Yeah. And in there, she talks about how if you're doing a third shot drop and the ball lands knees or below, then that's a green light for you. That's when you move your way to the net. You don't sprint there, but you work your way up to the net pretty rapidly. A yellow light. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, if you're not done, go ahead and continue.
Okay, yellow light is when it's from like knees to maybe belly button. If your third shot drop hits your opponent there, then you might maybe want to move up 2 steps and then stop and wait to give yourself more distance in order to be able to get a 5th shot drop. And then if you pop it up to where it's a complete put away, that's a red light, stop. Stay behind the baseline. They're gonna want to demolish that ball to keep you back, and the more distance you have, the more time you have, the better you're setting yourself up for success. So, from my perspective, I don't think we should be teaching rushing the net. I think we should talk about strategically getting to the net based on your 3rd and or 5th and or 7th shot selection, however long it takes for you to be able to work your way up there. That's my opinion.
Yep, and I agree 100%, and that's actually something that DJ Howard went over me in depth when I did the training with him, because he noticed that guy when we were doing some rallies back and forth, he noticed that I was like kind of just rushing up to the net as fast as I could, and then he would just destroy me sometimes. And he was saying like, you don't have to rush to the net, like you wanna get up there at the right time. So like, get into your position. If you hit the right kind of shot, go ahead and go up to the net. But if not, like, hit it again, take a couple steps, hit it again, take a couple steps, do whatever you got to take to get up there comfortably and at the proper pace. And that's something that that was it was a huge tip that he gave me that helped out big time. And we've got some comments here on the socials. Leslie White says, "You tell them to stay with you and move up as a team." That's perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. Pat Norton says, You got to know that the third shot is good first, which is very true. Like definitely, it's like if it's a good third shot drop, then yeah, definitely go up to the net. But if it's not a good third shot, you gotta wait.
Yep. I agree. I think it's all good stuff. But let me ask you this real quick before we wrap up this topic, Webby. When you first started, were you taught third shot, rush the net?
Yeah, I was taught like get to that line as soon as possible. So yeah, you do that third shot and then you just get up to that line.
Just sprint. You don't care if
get
you
up
put
there.
that ball high.
Do whatever
just,
it takes.
Yeah.
Get there.
You just rush the net. You get your ass up there. Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny how, I'm glad that mentality is gone. But I even at East Naples, I still play with some people where I'll do a third shot drop, and it will not be good. It will be that yellow light spot, and they'll just start sprinting to the net, and I'm like, whoa, like no, stay back, bro. You're not. There's no need to do that. And then the person will just tee off and just get him right in the chest, and I'm like,
yep.
That's why I was telling you. And then they'll get mad at me, and it's like, not all my thirds are going to be perfect. That's why I'm trying to tell you, stay back. Let us try and recover with a fifth shot reset drop shot.
Yep.
Anyway,
so true. So true.
Yes. Well, anything else you want to talk about for this exciting episode of Dinking Around? What is this, number 15? Which I don't even know what Dinking Around we're at.
I think we're at 15 now, man. This is just cruising along, these Dinking Around episodes, but I love them. I love these shows where we just get what's on our mind off of our mind.
That's right. Well, good stuff. A lot of great stuff going on here in the very near future with Eddie and Webby. You got any tournaments coming up you want to talk about?
So the next event that I have is in a couple weeks, and that will be the Dink for Pink. And that's going to be awesome. That's where the big match of myself and Maggie Raminzi Chow versus Lauren and Kyle from the No Smoke Pickleball Show. We're going to do that as an exhibition match and then get into the actual Dink for Pink event, which I'm super excited about. And they changed up the format a bit this year. So I'm going to have a set partner for the whole time, and we're going to be playing against other people from different teams in the same skill level. So I'll be playing with our friend Nicole Miller. She is who I'll be teaming up with throughout the event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love playing with Nicole. Yep, she's a lot of fun to play with. She's a good player. She's super consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, her and I almost medaled at the Midwest Indoor Winter Classic in Grand Rapids earlier this year. It was my first ever mixed doubles tournament, and we played very well together, but we just couldn't get it done in the bronze medal match. We got eliminated, but I feel like enough time has passed. I feel like we are going to jive very well. I feel like both of our skill levels have increased since the last time that we played. So all those other teams, they better watch out.
That's right. You watch it. Watch out, guys.
But then after that, I've got a tournament the last weekend in December, and it is going to be another 4.0 men's doubles tournament.
Oh, yeah. Where's that going to be at?
That is going to be in Carmel, Indiana. And I forget the exact name of the venue. I'll have to look that up, but I'll have all the details on the next episode. We're going to be coming at you live next Thursday with another exciting episode. And man, oh man, we have an excellent guest.
Yes, we do. And I got the easy job next week. I get to just sit back and hang out with people on social media. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Should we say who the guest is, or do we wait and let it be a surprise? What do we do? How do we handle this?
Man, I think we should wait for the surprise.
Okay. But stay tuned, because we're going to be announcing our next guest very soon. You are definitely not going to want to miss it. It is going to be another epic guest. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to have so much great stuff to discuss with her. And yes, I said her. I will give that clue. It is
you blew it.
A female. It is a female player, a very successful pro female player, and that's all the clues you're going to get. Not going to say anything else.
Are we going to bring up what the voice to text did to her name when you
Yeah,
sent me
yeah,
the
we're gonna
original.
we're gonna have to bring that up. Yeah, yeah, voice to text, totally butchered her name, but
Yeah,
in a very funny way. And we will reveal that on the next episode. So if you want to find out what that was, you'll have to stay tuned.
that's right. We had a question come up here that I think we should address real quick before we move on, and that is in regards to the website for the products that Sophie was talking about. Let me see if I can't pull that up here real quick.
All right.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was great having Sophie on earlier. I'll try to do some filler here while you try to get the
Yeah.
website up. But yeah, Sophie joined us earlier. That was great talking to her. If you are just now tuning in, be sure to watch this back after we're done with the live stream. You can check it out, and the whole entire episode was great. We were joined by uh, Tony from Into Pickle for episode 54 of the podcast. This, of course, is Dinking Around, which I think we're on episode 15 now, if my math is correct. We had Sophie join us, and Eddie is about to get the website up for anybody interested in checking out what they've got going on over there.
Yes. So the website is revelinsports.com. That's spelled RevolinSports. They do have an Instagram. They do have a Facebook page as well under the same name. And if you go to their website, you can put your email address in there, which I've already done. So that way you can be updated via email when they're ready to announce it. Hey, check that out. Thank you, Christy, for putting the website in the Facebook comments there.
Yes. And yeah, if you watch this back on YouTube, the link will be in the comments, or the description of the YouTube video. So
That's right.
yeah, we'll have all that great stuff in there.
Yes. Well, man, it is way past my bedtime. As always, that's what happens during Dinking Around, and that's okay.
Yep.
The sacrifices that I do to bring this great show to you guys. Another incredible episode of Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. And is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, that's all I've got. This was a super fun night. I loved it. Loved every moment of it, and I can't wait to do it all again next week.
That's right. This has been Dinking Around with Eddie Webby, and we appreciate all of you out there that are still watching. You know who you are. Stay tuned for an amazing guest in 10 days from now because it's going to be epic.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.